The world is on fire, economically, politically, and spiritually. Every headline is a puzzle piece, but once you connect them, the picture is terrifying. The system is failing, the center cannot hold, and a global confrontation is now unavoidable. This is how we got here, and where we're heading, from the war in Ukraine to the genocide in Gaza, from Taiwan's flashpoints to the coups shaking the Sahel, from Europe's energy collapse to the rising tide of protests and unrest across continents. It looks chaotic, but it's all connected. These are the fault lines of a dying empire. The US-led unipolar order. For decades, one system ruled the world, exporting its model, its money, and its wars in the name of stability. But everywhere, nations are breaking free, seeking sovereignty. The West, threatened by the unraveling of its power, responds with force, manipulation, and endless conflict. Clinging to a world slipping from its grasp, they claim recovery, but the numbers don't lie. The United States, once the unrivaled economic powerhouse, now staggers under the weight of over $34 trillion in debt. The dollar's dominance, long considered unassailable, is eroding as new financial alliances rise. Inflation spreads like wildfire, suffocating entire nations and fueling unrest from Argentina to Egypt. BRICS Plus, an alliance of rising economies, is building alternatives, new trade routes, new banking systems, new rules, and in the background, artificial intelligence is replacing millions of jobs, reshaping industries faster than societies can adapt. China, meanwhile, is quietly constructing a new order, one built not on military might, but on economic influence, technology, and diplomacy. What does an empire do when it's cornered economically? It goes to war. Proxy wars become the real thing when desperation sets in. The West turned Ukraine into a battleground to weaken Russia, but Russia did not collapse. Instead, NATO's unity is fractured, politically, militarily, morally. Gaza became the flashpoint of a far greater war, a struggle not just between Israel and Hamas, but between the Zionist regime and the entire axis of resistance: Iran, Hezbollah, Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and soon, perhaps, others. Now, Iran versus Israel is no longer theoretical. It's happening in real time. Drone attacks, assassinations, cyber warfare, red lines crossed every day. The United States backs Israel to the bitter end. Iran prepares for regional war, and in the shadows, Russia and China watch, calculate, and wait. If this escalates, it will not stop at borders. It will become the centerpiece of a world war. And while the world burns, the architects of the next empire are building, not on land, but in data. Central bank digital currencies will make every transaction traceable. Biometric IDs will control access to food, travel, and medicine. AI-generated narratives will erase the truth in real time, rewriting history as it happens. Smart cities promise convenience, but their walls are digital, and their gates are locked by algorithms. This is not freedom. It's the technocratic future the globalists want. War, pandemic, climate crisis. Every disaster is an opportunity to tighten the grid. And every new control is sold as safety, progress, or necessity. But there is resistance, and it's growing. Russia and China are building a new Eurasian order, forging alliances outside the Western sphere. Iran and Hezbollah refuse to bow. African nations are expelling foreign troops and reclaiming their resources. Latin America is asserting its sovereignty, pushing back against centuries of intervention. And across the world, religious civilizations, Orthodox, Islamic, Confucian, Hindu, are rediscovering their roots and pushing back against the cultural and moral decay of Western liberalism. This is not just a shift in power. It is the return of civilizational identity. The West promised freedom, but delivered debt, war, and cultural fragmentation. Now, the world is saying no. Don't let the noise fool you. This is a global transition, and it's accelerating. The Western Empire is losing control, and in its desperation, it could take the world down with it. You must choose obedience or truth. Digital slavery or sovereign identity, collapse or resistance. Because what's coming isn't just war, it's civilizational rebirth or ruin. If you see what's coming, don't look away. Speak, share. Refuse to live in fear. The world is choosing sides. The future is being written now.